Is Congo cursed by its natural wealth? The Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, is one of the most resource-rich nations on Earth. Beneath its soil lies an estimated $24 trillion worth of minerals, enough to transform any economy. Yet the country remains among the poorest, facing ongoing challenges such as underdevelopment, instability, and weak infrastructure. So the question must be asked, is Congo cursed by its natural wealth? In this video, we'll explore how a nation so rich in resources can still struggle with poverty, and whether this curse can be reversed through reform and resilience. The meaning behind resource curse. The phrase resource curse refers to a paradox where countries rich in natural resources often experience less economic growth and worse development outcomes than those with fewer natural assets. Instead of prosperity, they may face slower growth, increased corruption, and in some cases, recurring instability. While this doesn't apply to every nation, many resource-rich countries, particularly those that depend heavily on a few raw exports, face these issues. For the Congo, the theory hits particularly close to home. The country possesses immense mineral wealth, yet much of its population continues to live below the poverty line. The question, is Congo cursed by its natural wealth, arises from this very contradiction. Congo's riches, a snapshot of its natural wealth. The Congo's subsoil contains a staggering variety of minerals that are vital to the global economy. It is the world's largest source of cobalt, an essential component in lithium-ion batteries used in electric vehicles, smartphones, and laptops. Additionally, it holds major reserves of copper, coltan, tin, tungsten, diamonds, and gold. Cobalt alone has become one of the most in-demand minerals on the planet. As the world transitions to greener technologies, the demand for Congo's minerals is only increasing. In theory, this should position the country as a rising economic powerhouse. But the reality has not followed this logic. Instead, the wealth has largely benefited outside actors or select local interests, while much of the population remains untouched by its promise. A historical legacy of extraction. To understand the root of the issue, we need to go back more than a century. Congo's history is marked by a legacy of extraction rather than development. During the colonial era, particularly under Belgian rule, Congo's economy was structured around one goal: removing as much wealth as possible. Much of the infrastructure that exists today was originally designed to move resources from mines to ports, not to connect communities or support local industries. Roads, railways, and towns were often built with one function in mind: extraction for export. Even after independence in 1960, the economic framework remained similar. Resource control became highly centralized, and the focus continued to be export-driven. With few safeguards in place, many deals and operations lacked transparency or long-term development goals. Conflict and competition over resources. Another major challenge has been competition over resource control. In regions like Eastern Congo, valuable minerals have become linked to conflict dynamics. Various groups have fought to control mining areas, and in doing so, they've gained access to revenue streams that can fund operations. These minerals, often referred to as conflict minerals, are sold on global markets and used in everyday products. Tracing their origin is difficult, which makes regulation and accountability complex. This environment can deter international investors who seek stable and transparent conditions. It also complicates the government's efforts to monitor and regulate the sector. In effect, the country's wealth has become fragmented and, at times, contested, creating yet another hurdle to long-term development. Transparency and revenue management. A significant part of the resource curse lies not in having wealth, but in how that wealth is managed. In the Congo, resource revenue has not always translated into public benefit. Reports from various oversight agencies and nonprofit organizations have shown gaps in transparency when it comes to mining contracts, royalty payments, and revenue collection. In some instances, mineral rights have been sold below market value or awarded without clear competitive processes. This can limit the state's ability to capture full value from its own resources. Efforts are being made to address this. Congo is a member of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, EITI, a global standard that promotes the open and accountable management of oil, gas, and mineral resources. However, implementation remains a work in progress, and consistent enforcement is needed to fully realize the benefits. The social and environmental cost of extraction. Natural wealth also brings environmental and social challenges. In many artisanal mining sites, conditions are hazardous. Workers may dig by hand, without proper equipment or safety protocols. In some cases, entire families, including children, are involved in small-scale mining. Additionally, mining activities can result in deforestation, soil degradation, and polluted waterways. These environmental issues often go unaddressed due to weak enforcement of regulations or a lack of resources at the local level. When managed well, natural resources can be extracted responsibly and sustainably. But when corners are cut or oversight is limited, the cost to communities and ecosystems is high. In this context, the question, is Congo cursed by its natural wealth, becomes not just economic, but also humanitarian and ecological. International interest and responsibility. Electric vehicles, mobile phones, and renewable energy storage all rely heavily on resources mined in the Congo. This gives the country strategic global importance, but also raises ethical questions. How can companies ensure they source responsibly? How can consumers know whether the cobalt in their phone or car battery was extracted safely and ethically? Several international efforts have emerged to promote responsible sourcing. Some companies are investing in traceability systems to track minerals from mine to market. NGOs and watchdog groups have also brought greater attention to the human cost of unethical mining practices. While these steps are positive, more work is needed. A shared responsibility exists, not just for the Congolese government, but for corporations, policymakers, and consumers worldwide. Pathways toward turning wealth into opportunity. Despite the challenges, Congo's natural resources still represent a powerful opportunity. The key is not to reject these resources, but to manage them differently. Here are a few pathways that could help transform the curse into a blessing. Institutional strengthening. A stable, transparent framework for contracts and revenue sharing is critical. Strengthening institutions means empowering agencies to monitor compliance, enforce regulations, and manage revenues efficiently. Diversifying the economy. Over-reliance on mining makes the country vulnerable to price shocks. Building up other sectors, such as agriculture, services, and manufacturing, can create jobs and reduce dependency. Community involvement. Local communities should benefit directly from nearby mining activities. This could be through infrastructure development, educational investments, or fair employment practices. Responsible partnerships. International companies operating in the Congo must engage in ethical practices, invest in local development, and uphold safety and labor standards. The journey won't be easy, but countries like Botswana and Chile have shown that with the right frameworks, mineral wealth can lead to national growth and shared prosperity. Is Congo cursed by its natural wealth? It's tempting to believe that Congo's mineral wealth is the source of its problems. But minerals themselves are not inherently good or bad. It's how they're managed that matters. The idea of a curse can be misleading if it removes responsibility from the systems and decisions that shape outcomes. So, is Congo cursed by its natural wealth? Only if that wealth continues to be poorly managed and inequitably distributed. With the right vision, governance, and global cooperation, Congo's resources can help build a brighter, more inclusive future. Congo's natural riches offer enormous potential, but mismanagement and underinvestment have held back progress. Rather than being cursed, the country faces a unique challenge: turning resource abundance into long-term prosperity. With strong leadership and international support, Congo's story could be one of transformation, not tragedy. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.